Hello, this is Derek from Unity. Welcome to my channel. In the last video, I showed you how to use the identity package to do login and logout in your Unity applications. So the user need to log in before to have full access to your system. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Unity UI system to create a login and logout button. At the same time, I'm going to show you how to create a label to show your full name based after you log in. So let's get started. So if you've been following my last video, this is the project we have. For now, let's just comment out the UI system for now. So when you open the script again, on the GUI function, make sure you just comment that out. So to comment out, I'm going to do / and then do a asterisk, and then to end a comment, you do an asterisk and /. Okay, so this is when you see it in a different color, so that is that means it's been comment. Now we want to create a login button and a logout button. So let's get started, and to do that, I'm going to right click on this hierarchy panel and click a button, Taskmaster Pro. So this is going to create a canvas game object for you, as well as something called the event system. You need the event system to track what users been clicking on the button, so we need to keep that. So if you double click on the button here, at the moment it's sitting on the bottom left corner of the window. So I'm going to press this 2D button there so I can have it as a 2D thing. And then I'm going to go into inspector window and click on this 3 dots here on the right hand side and do reset properties, and reset that properties in its positions. So I'm going to name that as the login button, right? And then I'm going to maybe make it a bit taller. Let's go with 60, and click on this Taskmaster Pro there, and now make sure it say login. Now it's not displaying. Let me just have a look. Oh, that is because I have not imported the Taskmaster Pro Essentials assets there. So whenever you start a new project and you don't have Taskmaster Pro installed, and you're trying to use it, you will need to install some of the initial resources for the Taskmaster Pro to work. So I'm going to hit that button there. Now you can see is we have some text displaying on here. So I'm going to put it as login there, and then I'm going to duplicate that. So I'm going to select the login button and press Ctrl D, or you could just right click it, and there should be a duplicated command. Okay, now I have a duplicated command here. So I'm gonna just put it in and rename it as in logout button here. Okay, press save, and then make sure I change the name, the text as logout. Okay, so there is. So we have 2 different buttons there. Now if you want to move the button, if you want to reposition button, you can either do it on the inspector window. So I can just drag it on the Y field and make it below, or alternatively, if you can just hit one of those this handle there, and then you will see a transform handle, and then I'm going to just drag this down here to make it slightly below the login. Okay, hit save. Just so I'm going to make it as -85 here, just to round these things up a bit. Okay, so we got 2 buttons there, and we also we just work on this button for now, and then we jump onto the label showing the your login names at last. So let's open up our the login controller again. Now this time we need to reference the UI system library. So in the top of the script we need to put using Unity engine.ui. Okay, that is going to now it's going to recognize that when you put buttons, toggles and all that, then make sure that it's going to use the Unity UI library. So in the before you at both awake function, I'm going to do square bracket and do serialize field. That means it's going to serialize the variable that I'm going to put down the next line. So I'm going to put private button. Now make sure when you hit button, it say is in Unity engine.ui, not the Unity.ui elements, because there are UI elements is the UI toolkits, which is a different library or different UI system that Unity right now support. So for the as a simple example, I'm going to stick with the Unity.ui, and it's got the already put the name for me, say m_login button. Okay, let's go with that. And then we now need the logout button, so we just say on serialize view again, and now create put a buttons as logout button. Okay, so at the start of the application, when we say awake here, we basically say we put a lesson line there to listen what the authentication state and then we print out the authentication state here. So in here, I'm gonna put I'm gonna use the switch statement there, and I put statement here, and I'm gonna put case if is a logout situation. Oh, it's gonna do that already. So I'm gonna put set that as login button game object as true, and the logout button the game object set that as active. Set that as not active. And same thing again, if I'm logged in, I will do logout as set that as active, and do the login button as and then deactivate the login button there. So I'm going to set that game object as false, and make sure I put a break in here. Okay, so to test this one, I'm going to just close that and let it compile. And the login controller, click on the login controller object and make sure you assign the login button to this field and logout button to this field. And I'm going to save and press play. It's already showing you the current state is logout, and we have the login button being enabled and disabled in the logout button. So this is exactly what we want. That's good, right? And then in here, we're going to go back to script. Now we need to create two different public functions so we can assign the method to our button. So in here, I'm going to make a new line. Just make it larger. Let's see if I can make it larger for you to see it. Alright. I'm gonna put public void log and say on login button press. So and then round bracket, and then I'm going to copy this line here to here. So this is going to log in, and then I'm going to make another public method here. So public on logout button press. Right, and I'm going to copy this line here. So we have both different method, public method. One is for the login button press, and the other one is for the logout. Alright, so let's go back into Unity. Sorry, the wrong Unity. And click on this login button there. And then on the inspector, you will see all the properties of your buttons. And you will see a box there, say on clicked. And what we're going to do is going to hit this plus icon there. and we're going to drag this login controller to this field, and on this like drop down here I'm going to select the login controller. This is the login that this is the script that we just wrote on, and select the popular method. In this case I'm going to say on I'm going to select on login button press here, so this is login button. So on the next thing I will click on the logout button. Same thing again, I'm going to hit this plus icon there, drag this login controller to this field, and in the drop down menu here I'm going to select login controller, and now I'm going to select on logout button press on logout button press and hit save. So what's that going to do is going to when I press login, it's going to run that method, and then I'm going to, if I press logout, it's going to log out running that method. So I'm going to hit press, so I'm going to press play to, it says I'm being logged out. So again, I'm going to hit login. So it says already I already enter a new state awaiting login. Now I'm logged in, and now we notice that when I'm logged in, now the login to the logout button has appeared. So this totally works. Now we might notice that when you enter the awaiting login state, the login button still appearing. So this is not what we want. I think when you say after you press login, the both buttons, either login or out, should be disappearing. So it's not you're not going to trigger login or logout multiple times just by accident. So I'm going to go, I think same apply on the logout, so but you probably won't see it because the logouts, awaiting logout states change so fast you probably won't notice it. But on the script we're going to handle how to on disabling both buttons when you in the awaiting login and the awaiting logout state. So let's stop the editor here and go back to our script and scroll back down to our on application state change, and I'm going to make a new line here and say case authentication awaiting login and case awaiting logout. You might notice something also called case awaiting initialization. I mean, we probably need to handle that as well. So make sure we have all three of them. And I'm just going to, that is lined up together. And I'm going to put on game object set active as false and login logout button game object as false. Now and then do a break here. So that should make the login and logout button only appear when you are enter into the logout and the login state. So let's go back into editor and press play to test it. Now you see I only got a login button, and when I press the login button, this should go disappearing. There you go. That opens a new editor, and go back. And now you see it's still disappearing, and then when you go into login state, the logout button is appeared. So this is exactly what we want. That's good. And now what we need to do is to create a label and show the person name or the person the name that you've been, or the username after you log in. So to do that, I'm going to create a label there and right click on the canvas here. I'm going to go on UI and do text, and then have a dash there, --pro there, right? And it's going to spawn on the middle of the screen. I'm going to move that a bit, so the key that I use is the W key there to activate this handler, and make sure I increase the width a bit, so in case you got a longer name, so it's going to show you all the name. So I'm going to make that as 500, so 5,000 there. Height is, I don't know, 80, and for the best part, usually just like align, center it so looks nicer. I'm gonna remove this like the default text here, and I'm gonna name it as the username label in here. Okay, that should save it. Okay, so going back to the script there, we also need to reference that on the script. So I'm going to put a serialized field and do private, and then we're going to reference that Test Mesh Pro again, so it's going to test PM. Now with the Test Mesh Pro, I forgot about that, you need to use the Test Mesh Pro library, so you need to put using TM Pro on the top here, and then now you'll be able to do Test Mesh Pro field there. So if I'm going to type Test Mesh Pro, and the one that you should pick is the Test Mesh Pro U GUI, because this is the UI is on the UI system. So it says the AI has already given me a good new name, so I'm going to use that, stick with that, m_username text. So and here, and then if we want to use the get the username, we will need to do a few more things here. So first, I need to create a new variable, type user info provider, and I'm going to put user info provider, provider, and we are going to, yes, exactly, using the mcompose authenticator. And then I also want to have a private variable to store the user info, so I'm going to use user info here, and I'm going to use the name that AI suggested. Okay, so in the and after we log in, we're going to say now it's been logged in and should get the username. So to do that, we go back into this like on authentication state, on authentication state changed it, and under the case login, and I'm going to do to get the login of the user, and we're going to use a very special word called async. So let's go back into the top field again and use Unity, using system.threading.task, because it's going to use the threading to do the to get the user information there. So go back into the this method here, and after on the login method there, and we're going to put underscore equals get user update, user information here. Now this underscore, that just means that when it return, if it return anything, it's just going to like dispose it right away. So you can also have you can also just use it as get user information, but it might give you say, oh, it's not appropriate way to write this, but so I'm gonna stick with underscore equals and then get user information there, and then we're gonna create a new async function there and say public async task, and then I'm gonna say get user information there, so exactly what we have in here, and in here I'm gonna say m_user info equals await. So it's going to wait for this function to execute. m_user info provider dot get user info async, and then we're going to put there username text there, username text there, and say dot test equals to m_user info dot. Now there's a bunch of different properties to choose from, and since this is we have an option to show the name of the user, We have the option to show the user ID. We also have the option to show the username. Sorry, the email of the user. So in here, I'm going to stick with the name here and put a colon there. Okay, so I think this is all. Let's minimize that and let unit compile. Go back to the login controller and drag this username label to this field there, and you're gonna hit save and hit run. Now, okay, so you can see now it's been logged in. Now it's showing my name on the label there. So this is exactly how you use it. So in this video, I'll show you how to use the Unity UI system to make two buttons enable, and the two buttons will make you to log in and log out using the identity package. And then we also use the identity package to show the username of the user. So if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe and hit the bell on the icon to get auto subscription. Also, if you want to learn any more things, just leave me a comment below. So hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.